Hear from Joe Biden and his running mate Kamala Harris at any moment now. What do you think the tone of this speech is going to be tonight?
I think Joe Biden is going to say that it's looking obviously very, very good for his presidency to be. I think he's going to remember to say that every vote needs to be counted. But that he is now beginning the planning phase to move to the next step, the so-called transition. And we're looking at the stage there. He'll be speaking any moment. I don't think, I may be wrong, I don't think he'll declare himself as the as the president yet. A number of these states are so razor thin that more ballots have to be counted. But I think at the end of the day, this is the slow crawl, Heather, to Joe Biden being president of the United States.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Brian, we are now looking at live pictures of that stage near Biden's home in Wilmington, Delaware. We are expecting to hear from him and his running mate Kamala Harris, which, as you remember, Brian, we haven't heard from Kamala Harris, since Election Day. So obviously it will be interesting to hear what she has to say tonight. But as you mentioned, we are still waiting on the results of several battleground states. How much longer do you anticipate this going, and what are the political consequences of this delay?
Well, remember, states can declare, but a candidate of either party can challenge the results, can force a relook at all of the numbers, a recount, and that would normally, with these very close races, be granted. And so I think we're a few days away from the final. But at this point, Heather, with the states going to Joe Biden and slowly but surely more and more votes coming in for Joe Biden in all of these critical states, I don't know how much longer the president can ignore what appears to be pretty obvious, and that is that he is not going to be the president of the United States beyond January.
As we have been reporting, though, the president, taking this sort of firm stance, not going to concede anytime soon by filing these number of lawsuits in various states. Obviously, he has made a lot of allegations about voter fraud, but so far the campaign hasn't produced any concrete evidence of what they claim. Do you anticipate any of these legal challenges actually being successful?
No, maybe on the margins, that a few ballots here and there may be declared as not valid. But, he's in every state right now, or in several, I should say, to be more accurate, at least 5 or 6 states saying that the results are tainted one way or the other on different grounds, by the way. And so I think one by one, these states will either do the recount or otherwise prove that the numbers are accurate. And I think, as I say, this is his right as a candidate. We knew that Joe Biden would do the same thing. We were very confident that each camp would, at the end of the day, take a hard look at all of these votes, because it's just so close. I mean, states where you've got just a few thousand votes different means that outstanding ballots can make some difference, although the trend, and we always look at trends, the trends are all moving towards Joe Biden.
Yeah, but no matter what side you're on, Brian, it should be sort of the collective thought that every legal vote should, in fact, be counted. And those who are, those ballots that were illegally filed, obviously, should not be counted. But we're going to have to see how the legal challenges hold up. But, Brian, I want to talk to you really quickly, broadly, about the overall message that whomever is sworn in as president will need to take when you look at just how contested this election has been.
Heather, great point. I think what we've heard from Joe Biden, who I think at the end of the day will be the president when we get through all of this, he has said, I'm going to be an American president. I'm going to be a president for all of the country, Republicans, Democrats, independents, anybody on any side of anything. He wants to be the American president. I think if he can do that, I think a lot of the rancor may dissipate. Yeah, people are going to be upset that Donald Trump didn't end up winning if you're a Donald Trump supporter. But at the end of the day, this country will accept the president. I'm confident of that, and I'm confident of that because that's our history.
All right, Brian Sobel, really appreciate you talking with us tonight. Again, we are waiting to hear from the Democratic nominee for President, Joe Biden, and his running mate coming up in Delaware, and we'll be carrying that news, or that speech rather, live as soon as it happens. Brian Sobel, thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Heather.